Apple's awe-dropping iPhone event has officially wrapped up, and while there were a lot of announcements, the devices that had my attention immediately were the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max. Also the 17 Air, but we already published a hands-on video of that, which, by the way, you can check out by clicking the card here in the upper right corner. Now, real quick, before we talk about the hands-on, I do want to just let you know that if you can take 2 seconds to subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot. There's tons of coverage on every single new device that was launched, new software release that's coming next week, and so much more. So if you want to see all those videos that are coming in the next few weeks or month, please be sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss it. The first thing I noticed when I picked one up is just how solid and premium these iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Maxes really feel in the hand. Apple really nailed the weight and balance of the materials here. It's one of those devices that just immediately feels like a high-end product the second you hold it. The new design plays a big role in that. The camera bump, or what is now being referred to as the plateau, now stretches across the entire back. But instead of the usual glass island, Apple integrated it into the aluminum frames. Actually, the aluminum wraps around the entirety of the phone and even surrounds the camera lenses. The glass that's kept on the phone is actually just around the Apple cutout, which is also for wireless charging. It creates this kind of two-tone look that in person is just really sharp. I think it's one of the better iPhone designs that we've seen in the last few years. Now, the displays are still the same size as last year's iPhone 16 and 16 Pro Max, so it's 6.9 inches or 6.3, but Apple made an upgrade here to the display with a new anti-reflective coating that not only cuts down on glare and reflections, but also makes the glass 2x more scratch resistant. It's subtle, but when you're using the phone in bright light, it's something that you'll really appreciate. Now, in this lighting here, there's lots of overhead shiny lights, and at angles you'll see on camera, you'll still see a lot of reflections, but when you're looking at it in person, especially head-on, it's a lot less noticeable than it looks here on camera. It's definitely not like a nano texture display or anything like that, but it definitely does help a little bit on cutting down some of those reflections. On the inside, we've got the A19 Pro chip, 12 gigs of RAM, and the iPhone 17 Pro Max specifically packs a massive battery that Apple says can last up to 37 hours of video playback, whatever that means in real-world use. The trade-off is that it is a bit thicker than what it was before, but honestly, I'll take a little extra thickness if it means better endurance for the battery. Now, colors this year are also a pretty big topic and standout in my opinion. Obviously, I'm a huge orange fan. We all know this. I think you're sick of me saying that, but Apple finally delivered with a Pro model that is actually very bright and vibrant. This orange finish looks fantastic to me. Now, the new dark blue color I think also looks really nice, but there is a new wrench thrown into the whole mix. There's no darker color, but instead, there's a new silver that has kind of a silver and white two-tone look that I honestly really enjoy. But yeah, there's a lot of good colors this year. I am surprised that there's no darker like space black option. That was a little bit of a shock, but all 3 colors to me are really nice. Now, camera-wise, you've got a 48 megapixel sensor across the board, with the big story being the 48 megapixel telephoto lens that now offers up to 8x optical zoom, which is the equivalent of a 200 millimeter lens. That's a huge jump in versatility. You also get that 18 megapixel center stage front-facing camera, which has a lot of cool tricks up its sleeve. Really just one that I really enjoy, and that's the fact that you can take portrait and landscape selfies without having to rotate the phone. So it'll just be able to auto crop, or you can crop manually if you'd like, but there's an AI feature that will automatically just kind of figure out what's going on in your scene here. And if you have a lot of people getting in, it'll just know that it needs to expand or perhaps go to a landscape selfie for you. And that is super useful. And that's because the sensor has actually been made into a square sensor. And so now it has a lot more field of view, which is always nice. A big improvement to the front-facing cameras for sure. You've still got the camera control button too, and the action button is still located above the volume buttons. They're all in the same spots. So no changes there, just a solid, reliable addition from last year. One change I did notice around the frame is that there is the antenna band at the top, which is intriguing and something new that I have not seen on an iPhone really ever on the top of one. A new vapor chamber cooling system has also been added, which is designed to keep the phone cooler during extreme intensive tasks and helps sustain performance for longer periods of time. And I'll need more time with a review unit to really push it, but on paper, this should mean fewer overheating issues, especially like when gaming or shooting lots of 4K video, which I was just doing on my 16 Pro Max during the event. And performance definitely took a hit because it was getting so hot. So I'm curious to see how these new Pro Maxes and obviously the 17 Pro hold up with a lot of these intensive tasks. Another new video feature that I think a lot of people are going to love is the new dual video recording. You can now record with both the front and rear cameras at the same time. This was possible on third-party apps, but now it is right in the stock camera app. And that opens the door for some really fun and creative uses, especially if you're a content creator. So yeah, that's the new iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max. It's still a rock-solid device with the premium new design. You've got improved displays, improved cameras, bigger battery, better cooling, and probably one of the best sets of colors for the Pro iPhones yet. Honestly, this feels like a pretty solid upgrade and one of the better ones that I have seen for the Pro lineup in quite some time. But of course, I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on everything that Apple announced, but specifically to the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max? Are you thinking about upgrading? What are your favorite color choices? Let me know down in those comments. This has been Dan with MacRumors. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you around in the next video.